What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Married with Media, and we're here for another review of a classic horror film, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. From Outer Space. You ready to talk about this one?
Yeah.
I have never seen this movie before. It's one of those movies that when I tell people I haven't seen it, they gasp, "Oh, you haven't seen Killer Klowns?"
Right.
You, of course, have not seen this movie either.
I hadn't.
So this is both of our first time watch. But look, before we get into it, this is your first time discovering us here on Married with Media. Hit the subscribe button and then be sure to like this video. And
if you don't,
she's going to turn you into cotton candy. Isn't that what they do with the gun in this one? Yeah, we got that. I did it. When did I buy this? It was like last year.
Yeah.
And then you were like, I can't believe you bought this and you hadn't seen the movie. But this is too cool. Like, I don't need to see the movie to know that this is cool.
And I told him, I'm like, it's a kid toy, but...
It is a kid toy. But look, where was I? Like the video, comment down below. We know that, most everybody's probably seen Killer Klowns from Outer Space. It is I would say it's a cult classic from the 80s. I imagine when it came out, it wasn't very well received. It probably grew in popularity over time. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But leave us a comment, your thoughts down below, and then, turn on the bell notifications for all future videos.
Yeah. Like you said, this was a first time watch. I was really intrigued on seeing this.
And this movie also, real quick, did come out in 1988, and it's PG-13.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was PG-13 before we watched it.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I interrupted you. I know you say I interrupt you a lot.
Well, not just me, but the peeps say it too.
The peeps do say it. They call me out.
But yeah, so I was intrigued to watch this. I thought it's definitely sounded interesting. So yeah, as soon as we put it on and it got started, it opens up with the, theme song, which I feel like even having not seen it, I've heard, other people share that song. And I gotta admit, it is a very catchy song, for sure. It's kind of been stuck in my head since yesterday, since we watched it.
It's that classic, circus song.
Well, I'm just thinking of, the Killer Klowns.
Oh, yeah, they definitely go into, a little...
From Outer Space,
rendition or something off of it, yeah.
So anyway, it's a fun theme song, for sure. And then, I don't know, it's really... I was kind of unsure about what I thought about the clowns themselves.
Yeah.
But the more that I saw them up close, they actually did look pretty cool.
Yeah.
From a distance, they just look like one of those generic masks, But whenever it would get close on them, they would have, real teeth and real eyes and stuff like that. So there were definitely things that they did that made it look more realistic.
Yeah.
And not as goofy or cheap looking.
Yeah, no, costume effects I thought looked really good. I mean, they looked a little cheesy, but I kind of feel like that was intentional.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, this movie was, I feel like, more on the goofy side than scary, but there definitely were some more horror elements in it, as far as they would wrap people up in cotton candy, and whenever you would look under the cotton candy, it was just a body with no skin. It was just bloody.
The most horrific scene to me was the one in the police station where he basically takes the sheriff and uses him as a ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
And he takes his hand out, and his body just goes limp, and he falls down.
Right, and
he has blood on his hand like that. That to me was maybe the I don't want to say creepy. I wasn't scared, but maybe the most horror-filled moment of the movie.
For sure. And also the part with the motorcyclist. When one of the clowns came up on the bike and the guy was like, "Oh, can I ride your bike?" And, they're about to have a face off, and, the biker guy's not taking him serious. And he the clown literally just punches his head.
Knock my block off.
And that's exactly what
I've heard of that scene before because, Jason Takes Manhattan. There's a famous scene in that movie where Jason punches some guy's head off the top of a building, and it lands in the trash can.
Oh my god.
So this movie came out in 1988. Jason Takes Manhattan came out in 1989. So it's speculated that they stole that move from Killer Klowns. So
yeah. So I don't know. There were definitely some cool, kills and just imagery.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic set design.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
When they go inside the actual, I guess, Killer Clown spaceship, which is like a tent from the a circus tent from the outside, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. Like, they see this, what they thought was like an asteroid or something, a comet, and they go to like try to find it, and it was just cool because there's this like circus tent just setting up in the woods, and it's like, oh, that's cool. Instead of like an alien spaceship looking thing, it's a circus tent. So yeah,
it was fun. It was definitely like a fun house of
inside,
sorts. Like once they go in there and they're like exploring around, like there's a lot of fun like things
tiny doors, like a door that would just get smaller and smaller.
There's that like the rotating room that they're walking through, and there's some good set design for sure. And I just kept thinking, because I mean, we watched this on Blu-ray, I was like, damn, this would look good on a 4K. Yeah, I always got to insert my physical media talk in here. I'm sorry.
Because I mean, like, it was a very colorful movie, like lots of bright colors.
Beautiful movie. Movie.
So, and also like as far as the creepiness goes, so with how they would have people like wrapped up in cotton candy, like they're basically like cocooned.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they ever like explain why they were there, other than just like I guess stealing a bunch of people?
There was like a part where one of the clowns came out and they had this just like big room full of bodies wrapped up in cotton candy, and one of the clowns took out like a straw, and it was one of those like cool straws you would get as a kid. That
like a fun straw.
Like a fun straw, like it was big, and your liquid would go all the way through these different. So he pulls out one of those and he puts it in the cotton candy, and it's blood. Like he's drinking blood out of the body that's in the cotton candy. So like that was another kind of darker, scarier.
Yeah, that's the one thing that comes. Well, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say, to answer like your question about did we ever find out what they were doing, like that was my one issue. Like we were talking about this when we were watching it. I was like, the plot is definitely very surface level. There's not a lot of storyline going on here. They pretty much jump into it right away. Yeah,
which I like, which I think you need to do, because when you have a movie that doesn't, have a plot, you need to jump right into the killer clown stuff, because that's why people are there to watch this movie. Like
you don't really get, to answer your question, you don't really get an explanation of like why they're there, what their motive is.
I mean, there's a plot, like there's like a love triangle going on in this movie, like between the guy and his girlfriend, and then the cop that was her ex-boyfriend. So there's a little bit in there, but they don't really make that
it's such
focus.
A small part.
It's more of an afterthought, but I didn't really recognize a whole lot of people in this movie. There's not really I don't feel like a lot of well-known actors.
Was he Sheriff Mooney, or what was he?
I think it was Sheriff Mooney.
Yeah, Sheriff Mooney. Like he was pretty memorable. He was kind of like this older
curmudgeon.
Older what?
Curmudgeon.
Is that what they call it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, grumpy.
Hadn't heard that word before. But yeah, he's like this grumpy kind of veteran cop. And he kind of, I don't know, he just thinks that everybody's like trying to get him to retire, and he's hanging out with the young cops and all that kind of stuff. So he was pretty memorable because he was just very, he thought he was so, badass and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like you said, the clowns came to the office one night when he was there alone.
And they got him.
Yeah, they got him.
Not to spoil Killer Clowns. Another sequence I really liked. This movie, to me, like when I think about it, it just oozes like creativity. Like that would be like the first word I would use to describe it.
Yeah.
It's just very creative. Like that whole like shadow puppet sequence.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Where the shadow actually like eats people.
Animated, yeah.
Like that was a really cool sequence. But yeah, there's a lot of really fun stuff in this movie. I don't know what else to say about it. Don't go into it thinking it's taking it seriously. Is all I'll say. It's a fun movie. It's more on like definitely more on the horror comedy side, but I would say more on the comedic fun side than the horror side.
Yeah.
There's definitely those horror elements though, but
right. And I love shorter movies. This one wasn't that long, was it?
Yeah, I think it clocks in at 86 minutes.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. It felt like a pretty easy watch.
Yeah, it was an easy watch for sure. Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
Nope.
You want to slap a score on it?
I'll let you go first.
I would give this a 3.5 out of 5. I had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a masterpiece by any means. I can definitely see why, a lot of people, this is a lot of people's favorites, and it holds up for them.
Yeah.
But I guess that's pretty good. I mean, we watched it for the first time. We don't have any like nostalgia for it, but we still enjoyed it and thought it was pretty good. We didn't think it sucked or was goofy or anything.
Right.
Or too goofy. It is goofy, but so yeah, 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 as well. Just because it's not really at that production level like I typically would gravitate towards.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think that it's just a fun concept. Just like taking something as popular as clowns, in our society or whatever, and then just like using all the clown aesthetics, or I don't know the word.
Maybe they did, but I don't know why they didn't do like a bunch of sequels to this. Like maybe there is a Killer Clowns 2. I've just never really heard of it.
I don't know. But so 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? 3.5 out of 5.
3.5, yeah.
3.5 out of 5. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you don't, she's going to shoot you with that gun. You're going to be cotton candy before you know it.
Or maybe I'll do it to you.
And then you're going to suck me out with a with a fun straw. So I was going to say, don't take that the wrong way.
I kind of want some cotton candy. Not going to lie.
Well, look, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the bell notifications, comment down below what your thoughts are on Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Look at that cover. That's a cool cover. And yeah, follow us on our social media accounts down below. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.